G'day guys, Ryder here, your coffee coach. Welcome to What's Hot in Coffee March 2023. Got a couple of things that I'm interested and excited to share with you, so let's get to it. First up, Veneziano Roasters here in Australia have released a ready-to-drink cocktail espresso martini and the magic martini. I really like this sort of innovation and I'm always curious to see how they turn out. Obviously I love an espresso martini, but it's got to be made really well. So how do I tell whether this coffee, ready-to-drink coffee, is any good? Well, I order it. And technically, I'm not on the clock, so I'm allowed to drink. I'm gonna try first the Magic Martini, which is flavors of vodka, oat milk, and pink salt. I've got my nice little low baller with a whiskey, ice whiskey in there, so literally don't need to add anything. Just pour, chill, and try. Oh, that's actually quite nice. Very smooth, actually. Yeah, that's lovely. Veneziano aren't really known as their best roasters in Australia, but that is a very, very nice drink. I would happily drink that. I've got to try out the regular espresso martini. The flavors on there, I'm a little bit curious about. They're vodka again, lemon myrtle, and wattle seed. So I'm not 100% sure I'm going to enjoy this because those flavors don't really remind me of espresso martinis, but I'll give it a shot. Ooh. Well, actually, I have to say, it's not too bad. It's pretty nice. Very floral. Obviously, the flavors it's very smooth again. I imagine they've done this as a cold brew, perhaps, or maybe they've done it as a drip, and that's made it really, really smooth. But it's not overpowering, and the alcohol certainly isn't overpowering either. It's how many drinks is it? It's 1.2 standard drinks for a can. But yeah, there you go. If you want to try something a bit different, maybe spice up your espresso martini, check out Veneziano's little magic martini and espresso martini mix. This one's a little bit older, but I'm really curious to follow all of the updates in March. But a Dutch designer has released a prototype for a modular home espresso machine, which could be revolutionary to the home users, especially people wanting to get into espresso for the first time. A modular machine is going to be really helpful in replacing parts and keeping that machine going. A lot of the appliance machines, the Breville's, the Sunbeams, the DeLonghi's, they have a really short lifespan. And when one little part goes, they're basically not worth fixing because most of the time the costs of fixing it is more expensive than the parts themselves. They're designed to break and die. It's like a single shot use, and then you need to move on to another machine. With a modular one, it means that if, say, the thermoblock died or you wanted the steamer to be replaced, you could literally take that modular part, click it in, and that would be running. It really sounds exciting. I'm really excited to see where this will go. I want to see more updates on this because I know this won't be for a lot of you viewers out there who are interested in the more expensive and better upscaled machines. However, for someone just wanting to dip their toes into the water, this machine could definitely be something revolutionary to the industry. Barista have also released a grinder now, the Encore version 2, which is going to be a big improvement on their other Encore, which really only did filter coffee. It wasn't a great espresso grinder. Barista do some really good quality espresso grinders. Even though they're in that appliance market, their quality is pretty good and pretty high standard. So the Barista Encore really sets the standard of that low entry-level grinder, and the Barista Seti is the one that is now used a lot for espresso, but this could replace that at a lower price point. You'll remember last month I did one on the fellow Opus, which also sets that bar nice and high for the low entry espresso grinders. So Breville Smart Grinder Pro was the one that I would always say to people, just go out and buy, a couple of $100. Just get one so that you don't have to use ground coffee for your espresso machine. But now, fellow Opus and Baristas, they've brought out their competitive rounds, and I think we're going to see a lot more machines be developed at this low end of the market, just so that people can get used to grinding fresh coffee. I think that's super important because a lot of people out there still don't grind their coffee fresh every morning. This one's a really quite a weird topic to talk about because there aren't many movies about coffee. But a movie just dropped this month called Coffee Wars from British production company called Foam Productions. It looks like it's set to be a little bit of a comedy. I haven't watched it yet. You can see the trailer in the link below, but it definitely looks like a lot of fun. And I think any good spotlight on barista life. This is a movie about a cafe that's trying to be vegan and plant-based milks and really wholesome foods. They're trying to stay alive, trying to keep it afloat. She enters her team of misfit baristas into the World Barista Championship to see if they can really step up their game and compete at the highest level. So anything that showcases baristas, barista life, cafes, I really think that's really underrated at the moment, and it's good to see that somebody out there thinks that it's worthy of a movie. It's yet to be seen whether the movie's any good, but I'll let you know once I've watched it and review that separately. And lastly, ASCA, the Australian Specialty Coffee Association, have announced that they are putting in a competitor for Australia to compete in the World Barista Championships, which means that my last video that I did complaining about it obviously got seen, and they listened to me and they put a competitor in, so thanks very much for doing that at my bequest. So yeah, that's it from me for this month in What's Hot in Coffee. I'm Ryan, your coffee coach, and as always, enjoy your brew.